Aloha, my friends. I don't really prepare for videos. I like to be spontaneous and in the moment. Yeah, I would probably have more impactful presentations if I did. But that's okay because whoever's meant to will. So I'm good with that if you are. But I think we need to discuss a few things, but just right off the top of the dome, polarization and how it relates to belief systems. So let's start with a question. Were religions created for the ego or for the spirit? All S words: spirit, soul, self. They're the same. They're all really the same thing. Spirit, soul, self. Higher self. That's what you really truly are. But we have been lowered into an egoic construct where ego is the dominating force instead of life force currency. So the belief systems were created for the ego. And you will immediately notice if you talk to anybody that's in a belief system, that has strong beliefs about their belief system, the first thing you're going to recognize is that they're egoic. They're egoic. They project the air of, I am right, my belief system is right, and anything outside of that is wrong. So just right off the bat, that's not higher conscious thinking. Higher conscious thinking would be, I'm willing to hear anything. I'm willing to listen to anything. I'm willing to be open. Doesn't mean I'm going to believe, but see, I don't believe anyway. Once you're beyond beliefs, you don't feel pressured to believe anything. So that's the second way you know religions were created for the ego, because the ego needs to believe stuff. What is the ego without its beliefs? Well, it's lost, it's insecure, it's reckless, it's usually a victim, it's usually blaming someone or something, it's disempowered, but it wants to virtue signal. It wants to put up this front that, no, I've got it all figured out. It's in my belief system. And look, I can quote Bible verses or Quran verses or whatever verses. Not that there's not some good verses to be quoted. That's not my point. I wish some of these people that quoted the Bible would also quote the Tao. But see, they're in a beliefs construct. So the Tao, what is that? I've never heard of that. Must be evil because the Bible doesn't talk about it. So in this time of awakening, people in the belief systems are coming to realize they've been put in a rather small bubble of beliefs. And they're not receiving any information that's outside that bubble. And believe me, there is a lot of information outside that bubble. As big as the ego wants to be, it's really not that big. Your spirit, your soul, yourself is what's big, real big. And the beauty of what I'm talking about is you don't have to believe it. This is not some new belief that you need to adopt. We're moving beyond beliefs collectively. The collective consciousness here in another year will have very few beliefs left, because they will all have been exposed as belonging to the ego. And do you want to hang on to things that belong to the ego? Does your ego have anything that you need, that you must have? You may think that it does, but it doesn't, because your soul, yourself, your spirit, has everything you need. And there's only one thing you need. There's literally only one thing in this construct that anybody needs. What is it? And there's a few words for it. I'm sure some of you said love. That's correct. We could ask, what is love? Higher consciousness. So that's all you need. That's the only thing you actually need, is higher consciousness. And it's beyond the egoic mind. It's a completely different mechanism than the dualistic mind of your avatar. Spinning around in its beliefs, going round and round through multiple lifetimes, believing, and none of the beliefs ever pan out. If they had panned out, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in third density consciousness. You wouldn't have awakened in a world like the one that you have awakened in. So you can immediately see the contrast now between the ego and what it creates, and the spirit and what it creates. So when you're playing with your beliefs, your belief systems, you're playing in a risky game. Because you're going to have forfeited your knowingness for your beliefs, and you're going to come to find out they belong to your ego, not you. So if you're dead set on your beliefs, then you're basically dead set on your ego. You think that you are the avatar and its dualistic mind, and that's what you are. That's who you are. That's not who you are. That's a part of who you are now, but you became that. You were something else prior to that. Do you remember what it was? Do you remember the you that existed before the egoic avatar that you're in presently? If you can remember that, you'll immediately realize that you're not this other thing. And everybody is in a battle right now with that. Yeah, it manifests as Antifa. It manifests as racism. It manifests as brutal cops. It manifests as parents abusing children. It manifests as children abusing parents. It manifests as all these different things. But it's really just you fighting with your ego. And a lot of people don't even know that that's what they're doing. They don't know that that's what's really going on. They think they have legitimate enemies and legitimate problems and pressing issues and a fearful tomorrow. If you knew who you were, you have none of that. You know better. It's so beautiful, so calm, so quiet. So blissful. Within the heart. All that external stuff just fades away when you get into the heart. You go to the O. And you just auto-tune with nature, with Mother, with the higher frequencies that are radiating into this realm through the sun portal, which got a boost on 8/8 during the Lion's Gate. You should be able to feel that bodily, mentally, emotionally. But you might not be feeling that because you might be so tuned into the matrix and the illusion and all the stuff going on in it that you're not taking in the higher frequencies. You're not receiving. Do the inner work. That's all you have to do. Do the inner work. Peace be still. Until next time, my beautiful friends and family.